So today, I just woke up to this. A message on my phone telling me that under 16s can no longer use social media. The thing everyone has actually been talking about for months has finally landed. And at first you kind of go, okay, sure, fair enough. It's probably a good thing for the kids, right? Because let's be honest, there is some horrible stuff online. There are predators. There are algorithms that mess with young kids' brains, and ours too. So when they say this new law is here to protect the kids, we just nod and we move on. But stay with me for a second, because the part about the kids isn't the full story or the full picture here. And then you keep reading, because under this message there's a button. New terms and conditions. Of course. Do we read them? No. We just press OK and keep scrolling. Updates, permissions, agreements, accept. But that's when I stopped and thought for a second. Because before we argue about is this law good or not, we should probably take a look under the hood. Because if you really want to understand what this is about, you have to look at how we got here in the first place. We need to talk about what's happened to Australia and to the world. Because Australia doesn't feel like Australia anymore. And I think a lot of you know that. And these things didn't change overnight. It shifted slowly, quietly, one convenience at a time. And this is where it starts to all make sense, so don't tune out just yet. In the late 90s, internet banking shows up in Australia.
I'm off to the bank and I'm going to pay some bills.
Don't be long.
One bank lets you pay bills, trade shares, and do your banking on the net.
Oh, look, why don't I just use the internet bank?
Commonwealth Bank launches NetBank in 1997. And honestly, at the time, it's very handy. No more lining up at a branch. No more thinking twice. Then the early 2000s come. Self-checkouts start appearing at Coles and Woolworths. And at first, yes, it's optional, it's a novelty, it's exciting to be able to use this. We think we're getting our shopping done faster. It's just one or two machines in the corner. And then fast forward to now, they are everywhere. Fewer staff, more cameras. Every item you purchase is tracked. And every movement is logged. And I think now, most people barely remember when a human actually scanned or bagged their groceries. And this part matters, trust me. I'll tell you why. The 2010s roll in. Tap and go becomes normal around 2013, 2015. It seems convenient. And then cash starts fading out into the background. Cards become phones, and then phones become wallets. You don't have to hand over money anymore. You just wave. Every coffee, every train ride, every late night kebab, all logged somewhere. Meanwhile, bank branches start closing. Jobs are disappearing, and all the money that used to circulate locally starts funneling up into banks, into platforms, into corporate systems. Keep that in your head, because we're coming back to that. Then 2020 hits, COVID, and we all know what happened there. Suddenly, almost overnight, QR check-ins, location tracking, movement limits, digital passes, just to enter basic places, to go shopping, to go to a restaurant, to go to a bar, to meet your friends. All of this introduced so fast, and all accepted so fast, and all justified so fast. What we lived through there was compliance rehearsal, which was masqueraded as a health crisis. And look, I got COVID and I'm fine, and so did many other people. Yes, it was bad. Some people died. But this isn't a rant about COVID. I could go on about that for ages, and I'm sure you could too. The people moved to learn to scan to exist, to learn to show permission to move, to accept rules that would have felt unthinkable a year earlier. So by 2021, 2022, in almost all parts of the country, card only, contactless payment only, cash not accepted. Money went fully digital. But once money becomes fully digital, the control stops being theoretical. This is where it just becomes operational. And so this is the moment where things start to get uncomfortable. And this is where it gets very real in Australia. Because we've already seen what happens when people hand over their lives to government automated systems. Let's not forget Robodebt, a machine-run welfare debt scheme. Algorithms matching incomplete data. Letters sent automatically, and debts raised without human review. People were told they owed money that they never actually owed. Some were harassed for years, some lost their savings, and some lost their lives. All because of an automated system that was allowed to make decisions for us. And this should have never been automated in the first place. And then years later, the government finally admitted it was unlawful. I myself was told I owed $1,000 to this scheme, and to this day, I have still not been paid back that money. And yes, some were paid back, but what about the people's lives? They weren't. And this is exactly why what's happening now really matters. So let's fast forward to today. There's a law that says under 16s can't use social media. On the surface, it sounds narrow, vague. But stay with me, because here's where the whole kids under 18 argument starts to crack. You can't enforce age limits at scale without verifying everyone. You see what I'm getting at here. So this means your age, your identity, sometimes even your face, becomes part of logging in now. This is the pivot point of the whole conversation. When you open an app, you've got to pass through something. When I open my bank app, it scans my face. Now great, yes, having some security on my money, this is helpful. But where does it all eventually lead to? What is this information being used for? And what is it going to be used for in the future? So first a face scan, a two-step code, and then a text message, which can probably track where you are and what you're doing. Your credit cards track what you spend. Your bank tracks where you spend it. And your phone listens just enough and shows you ads to things that what you were just talking about. You know it. I know it. We are being monitored already. This is straight up like a scene out of V for Vendetta. Except we don't have curfews yet. Oh wait. Yeah, we did. COVID. And now you can probably see where this is heading. But before this gets philosophical, let's just actually see the facts and where the world is heading. In UK, there are millions of CCTV cameras watching your every move. Most people are recorded from the moment that they leave the house. In China, facial recognition software unlocks transport, payments, buildings. It is your ticket to society. Now at airports across the world, there are fingerprints, facial scans. Europe just introduced this a few weeks ago. Now a machine decides where you go. It might seem something simple, an age verification law, here to help protect our kids. But what does it actually mean for us? It lands already built on a world of surveillance infrastructure, not just a blank state. So this is the context that matters. Now, let's add another piece that barely gets mentioned. This massive push online hasn't just changed privacy, it has stripped out jobs. Checkout assistants have been replaced by machines. Security guards now replaced by cameras. Bank tellers have been replaced by apps. And call centers have been replaced by AI bots. And every time it's the same. It's always sold as faster, cheaper, more efficient. But here's what actually happens. Work disappears. Costs drop for someone else. And profits concentrate. But the sad thing is, the money doesn't flow back into the communities. The money doesn't go back to you or me. It stacks upwards, and we all know who those people are. So this is where the tech future that everyone used to cheer for doesn't look so friendly anymore. And then layer robotics and AI on top of all of this, and we are getting ourselves into Terminator territory. China already has robots doing patrols. We have robots delivering food already. And for years, slowly, robots have been replacing humans on factory floors. So first we lost the manufacturing industry, now we are losing our office and retail industry. What is next? So this isn't just about theory, this is actually an arms race. Automation of payments, automation of identity, automation of moderation, and automation of surveillance, and then automation of labor. We are moving towards a Terminator-style economy. It's funny because people joke about Skynet, but what's actually being built right now are centralized intelligence systems that already control feeds, finance, logistics, advertising, now moderation, and security. And this is where the pacing of everything accelerates. So they keep saying, it's just for kids. But every system like this starts to narrow down on what it really is about. This law tells parents, we've got it handled. But kids aren't going to vanish from the internet. Of course not. They're going to move on to VPNs, borrowed IDs, their siblings' phones, gaming chats, private servers, heck, probably even their parents will be giving them their phones. Places with less moderation, less visibility, and less protection. Not to mention, some kids are going to lose connections with their friends. Some kids' only friends are halfway across the world. And now we're taking that away from them. So the risk doesn't just disappear. It just hides it. And this is why the whole protect our kids arguments, it sounds good on the surface, but at the end of the day, it collapses under scrutiny. Australia used to trust its citizens. Now it verifies them. And once a country builds population-wide identity infrastructure, it rarely rolls it back. It is here to stay. It just keeps adding extra uses. This is the long game. So here's where the path leads if no one checks it. Today, it might be age verification, but tomorrow it becomes platform verification, financial verification, content verification. And then soon, everyone is going to have to start modifying what they say because everything is traceable. And this is how behavior actually changes in modern systems, quietly. What actually changes long-term is what happens to the adults. Adults lose anonymity gradually, and they do it so it feels normal. Until one day you realize you only exist online if a system recognizes you. So how do you feel about this new policy? Is it a change for good or just to control us?